All right. So I want to add that I still believe that hypocrisy and gaslighting are forms of abuse. And I wanted to get into what is going on that I just heard of. It happened a while ago, I guess. But Chrissy Teigen, um, I guess she told someone to commit suicide, and she she tweeted out, and guys, remember this is a few foul words. She's apologetic, and she has said, "Not all people are lucky enough to be held accountable for all of their past bullshit in front of the entire world. I am mortified and sad at who I used to be. I was an, I was an insecure, attention-seeking troll. I'm ashamed and completely embarrassed at my behavior. But that," and then she didn't say anymore. But that, um,
What an egomaniac. I mean, we've done far worse, and no apologies required. Give me a break. Nobody cares.
but here she says, but that is nothing compared to how I made Courtney feel. I have worked so hard to give you guys joy and be beloved, and the feeling of letting you down is nearly unbearable. Truly, these were not my only mistakes, and I surely won't be my last. As hard as I try, but God, I will try. I have tried to connect with Courtney privately, but since I publicly fueled all this, I want to publicly apologize. I'm so sorry, Courtney. I hope you can heal and know, and hope you can heal knowing how deeply sorry I am. And I am sorry to let you guys down. I will forever work on being a better than I was 10 years ago, 1 year ago, 6 months ago. And that is being said. And I mean, she has been, Target has let her go. And there are people who are saying that, oh, I thought you guys didn't like cancel culture. Uh, I think what we don't like is the way in which cancel culture works. If someone is part of a certain political ideology, or maybe even part of a protected class, they certainly get more of a pass than other groups. So there is a tad of hypocrisy, and I do believe that hypocrisy is abuse, and that's what we seem to be living under. But some people say it's not that bad. It primarily happens to the famous, but it can happen to the non-famous as well. If you don't bend the knee in a proper way, or you get caught up in something, you can be canceled, and it's become very toxic. It would be different if it was correction culture rather than cancel culture. And I personally do believe that Tegan should be forgiven. If the other person has forgiven her, then yeah, she should be forgiven, and things should not go on forever. But I say that also about Based Spartan, who, when he was at an Israeli-Palestinian protest, said something to a 6-year-old that was inappropriate, but his daughter ended up losing, I believe, her scholarship. Shouldn't he be forgiven as well? I mean, who decides how long punishment lasts and how long? And Roseanne too. Should she be forgiven? She didn't do as what Tegan did, saying that someone should commit suicide to a child, but she's on the out. She's a pariah. So people are more upset about hypocrisy than they are the cancel culture. They just want the rules to apply equally. Joe, do you have anything to add? I will take that. Oh,
You are the biggest bloviator I've ever heard. But go on.
Well, yes, I am. I am an extreme bloviator. I cannot help that. I think I think that's part of my family gene. You knew my father, and he was a humongous bloviator. So I carry on that tradition, and hopefully I match and I improve on my father's bloviation. My mother, however, was not a bloviator, and I hope I have the best of both of them. But that is kind of true. I have been known to be a bloviator, and I'm just reading some of the comments on Twitter, and Chocolate Heart says, everyone makes mistakes. None of us can walk on water or turn water into wine. We've watched you give back to folks and ask nothing in return. This is set out to ruin you. Shame on them, and shame, and have you should have to come to woman, and sat down and ironed out your differences. Again, I mean, let's go on to Sharon Osbourne, who's also been kind of canceled. You know, uh, people are, and of course, I wonder if some of these people who are going cancel culture, oh, you guys are against cancel culture. Well, people primarily want treatment to be equal. If I get spanked for something and another child does similar things and doesn't get spanked, well, you're going to hold a grudge against that. By nature, you're going to say, this is unfair. A logical person is going to say, this is unfair. And society, the establishment is making so that this, like society is saying, hey, one group can get away with something while another group gets punished. So it seems unfair. Joe, do you have anything about unfairness and how to deal with it?
You know what? I mean, I do and I don't. I think I'm just gonna keep listening right now. I mean, I'm kind of getting on your wavelength here, except you just need to put it in simple English so I can understand it. You're talking on at a clip that's way above my pay grade.
You know what? Maybe you know what, and that may be one of the things I'm working on is.
I'm not a guest. We're co-hosts of this show, Dennis.
And sometimes I'm on by myself because Joe is busy working, and sometimes Joe doesn't do enough shows on his own as a response to mine.
No, I should do more because I'm starting to hear what you're saying, and it's you sound like a broken record.
Yes, I do. Well, it's something that does that I'm interested in, and it's something that I've never really witnessed it. Well, thank you. You like my jawline. Now he's trying to show his jawline. So yeah, uh, and she just said that you are the best guest, and that's true.
Thank
Look,
you.
I think that there should be a point where
Mm.
people are punished but are forgiven for their mistakes, and it should be changed to correction culture, not cancel culture. It's really cruel, and people do say things in the heat of the moment, in their worst times, and people want, like they do want consistency. If I have to toe the line and somebody else doesn't, that's not a consistent society. So, uh, uh,
Yes, we do. We could use a caller. I'll just post the number on. Well,
well, I gotta get to work pretty soon.
oh, you're weak.
I am weak. I am weak.
Weak. All right. So where are you getting at? Stoic Calm America, May 17th, 2021. Wh- wh- I don't hear any of this stuff. You know why?
Why?
I don't watch the news.
You know what?
If somebody gets canceled hard enough, I do hear about it. It does make its way to me, but I don't miss it. So what are you hearing? Is cancel culture still an influence? Is it still relevant? Is it
it is
happening?
it is still relevant. It's
Who's
actually
getting
gotten
canceled?
worse. It's actually gotten worse.
I, is it gotten worse, or have people just decided that they're not strong enough? They don't have the outlets to counteract the censorship that happens on YouTube and other similar social media. Is it just people being lazy? And then as a consequence of being lazy, they get a show flagged, or I hear that constant. It's like a badge of honor for some shows, like how many shows they're getting flagged, or that they got kicked off of Twitter, or that they self banned themselves off of Facebook because of their nonsense. So is it just that people got used to these stupid social network outlets, or is there really nowhere to run and hide and post and document these sort of things without getting hammered? What's going on?
Well, I mean, you kind of hit the nail on the head. I mean, even documenting it now. Um, like I said, to me, this is social media was at one time was making this the information age, and now it is the age of censorship and punishment. And it's really social media could have made things healthy because honesty is part of honesty and debate are part of a healthy are healthy outlets, but they don't want a healthy and honest debate. They want real cruelty. And again, sometimes people don't know how to act or behave. But now, even people who act and behave correctly, but say things that the establishment doesn't like, they get absolutely punished. I mean, today, hate speech is the new heresy, and you know, it's and there's no trial for that. They're the ones who make the rules, and YouTube. I know YouTube. It allows certain groups to have a voice to actually talk to Susan Wojcicki,
Hmm.
and they always complain about like, hey, we need to censor these people in these groups. And again, it's kind of unfortunate. That's why I do want to start going to Rumble once I kind of learn how to like. I'm technically not savvy, but I want to put things on Rumble and on other platforms because this platform is a very hypocritical platform and it allows uh, certain groups to say very inflammatory things, but other groups cannot, and they have to watch what they say. So it's a very unfair and unjust platform, and by nature, I'd want to go away from that. And part of me, even as I said before, part of me does want to leave the state that I'm in because I'm not a fan of uh, of the ideologies that these people promote. No, to me, they're big hypocrites, and they try to philosophize their hypocrisy, and I don't like it, and I have preference. Now, look, I'll live wherever I can live. I have medical issues that keep me from moving, but I do certainly have a strong preference not to live amongst hypocrites or people that I perceive and see as hypocrites.
We're not stupid people.
Who is that?
I'm just saying, we're not stupid people.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I mean, do you think stupid people are hypocrites?
Typically, I mean, people are hypocrites for a lot of reasons. People are afraid. People are followers. There's a lot of lemmings and sheep out there. So I think it's a side effect of that. I think people that's just my view. I mean, I could be totally off. There's people can. I do hypocritical things at times, and I have to catch myself. If I say something, or the whole practice what you preach sort of thing. I try to live by what I talk about, what I share with others, and I try not to give them an empty hat. I'm trying to live the way I express myself. That's not always easy, and sometimes people go after you, and so it's easy to get your words mixed or your ideals mixed, and people could consider that to be duplicitous or kind of going back on their words. So try not to be that way. That's all. Being ignorant is not being stupid.
And well, because a lot of these people that promote a kind of hypocrisy are rather educated people.
Yeah, we're way off here. Dennis, we need you to call in and really organize our thoughts.
Okay. But what I was going to say is there are smart people that promote, like, to me, critical race theory there seems to be it's kind of a promotion of hypocrisy.
Mm-hmm.
Woke left promotes hypocrisy. It's more of a hypocrisy culture than. And I can give him an invite if he wants it. But the thing is,
I gave him the link.
All right.
Give me the link.
Either way, dude. I mean, we can have a kind of a grab bag show where it's kind of fun. But yeah, and also today is the deadline to file your taxes, and guys,
not if you're on extension, baby.
Yeah, but you want to get an extension, so.
Oh yeah, you definitely want to get an extension if you're not filing taxes. Don't pay them extra. But yeah, that's it's not really. Usually, that's one thing that I get, kind of makes its way down the chimney. Everyone's kind of talking about tax. Nobody's talking about taxes. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's true.
Kind of a quiet end, or end of the tax season. Get it in.
Get it in. Do it.
And last year it's going to be weird doing the accounting for last year. A lot of people had such weird changes to their work and everything. So I wonder how it's going to shake down. The last couple years, if you recall, were very difficult for taxpayers. There were a lot of credits and changes that were made. So a lot of people were owing, a lot of the middle class were owing a lot of money. And so I wonder if that, I hadn't really kind of checked and run the numbers, but I wonder how it's going to be for this, for 2020 tax returns.
Well, and we have a, like I said, we have a whole situation in the Middle East and Israel amongst, I guess, the Palestinians and the Israelis that is really.
Well, I told you that my thoughts on that, and so far it's been 100% right. Anytime, and in this case, there was a heavy dip. When there's a dip in the price of crude oil in the country, in the world, you see these sort of things pop up. And last week, crude oil got bombed on one day. I mean, it literally went. It went down. It had a really bad day in the market, and so all the crude stocks were down. And the next day, sure enough, there was this Israeli bombing thing. And anytime there's a bombing in a Middle Eastern country, that tightens up what happens. The prices for crude oil start to go back up, and the military industrial complex relies on the crude oil industry, and they will do whatever it takes to prop that number up. And so from my and these stories are all, in my view, just basically a phone call. Hey, prices of crude are down, let's drop a few bombs on Israel. Got it. And this is, we see this almost every time. Crude oil took a heavy dip in early 2020 after the virus, because nobody was driving, so the demand for oil went down to under $20 a barrel. It was probably closer to $15 a barrel. Now it's worked its way back in the 60 some odd dollar range, and analysts are predicting it's going to go even higher, 75, $80 a barrel, maybe more. You remember, anytime there's any sort of panic or embargo or any kind of strange thing happens, we've seen barrels of gas go over $110 a barrel. I don't want that to happen, because that just means simply that people are going to be paying $5 a gallon for gas, which was predicted before Biden took office. So there's a lot of factors here. And so when I see a story like that in Israel, or any, before that, there was something in the Suez Canal, a boat got caught in the Suez Canal. Oh, what a surprise. So yeah, I try not to give these stories too much credibility. I know what they're about. But the way, and what I was going to, okay, yeah, I'll stop there.
All right. So I think me and Joe on this one may have a difference of opinion, respectfully so. I don't know, I think things just happen, and there are emotions and tensions involved. And we got Dream Master on, so let's hear from Dream Master. Hopefully, not too much profanity.
Lots of profanity. How are you, Dream Master?
All is well up here in Canada.
Yes. What is the weather like there in Canada?
It's actually quite nice. It's a balmy 20 degrees Celsius, sunny, warm. Yeah, good day to do some more moving.
Yes, get organized.
Yeah, got to move to my halfway house.
There you go. Get to the halfway house. So you're moving soon in July, I think. And so do you have any thoughts on what
yeah, we
Brian,
were talking about
what is he bloviating about?
Pardon me?
What do you have any thoughts on what Brian?
No, I thought we were talking about forgiveness, like forgive and forget or something.
Well, cancel culture does not involve cancel culture. That's my point. Go ahead.
Okay, and then it led into ignorance and naivety, or stupidity, or whatnot.
Yes.
Right. There's a difference, right? Now, see, this is where you got to lead into forgiving people. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
See, because stupidity and ignorance are two different things. See, if I was I like to work with analogies. Okay, and I'll just work it with where somebody is a new guy, a green behind the ear, or doesn't know what he's doing on a job site. Right? He pushes pens, but he doesn't push a shovel. Okay, and you hand him a shovel. All right, and you say, do this. All right, this is the way you do it, and you show him. Okay, and then you come back, and then he's fucking it all up. And sorry for the profanity.
Yeah. Okay. That's fine. Cha-ching. Go on.
And then I'll come back to him, right? And then I'll say, listen, I'm going to tell you a second time, 2 times, okay? You don't get a third chance, because you know what the third one's going to get you out of a job, okay? So I'll show you a second time. And if I see him, he's messing something up, I'll say, listen, don't come to me and ask me how to do this again, because I have to tell you a third time, you're worthless and useless to me. You're stupid. You cannot be learned, trained, Nothing. Okay. You might be ignorant at the time when they give you the shovel. All right. But if you learn, then you're useful. But if I continually have to be holding you or your hand and babysitting you all the time, you're dumb. You're stupid. You have no common sense. Get out of my job site. Bye. All right. Now, ignorant people will learn. Okay. And they're no longer naive because they learned. All right. But
We're not stupid people.
dumb people, what? Yeah, they're not stupid people, right? They
We're
learn.
not stupid people.
Right. Yeah.
Joke.
What? We're not.
No,
stupid
but it's like common sense. You can't teach someone common sense. You can't. You could
That's
teach them. You could show them how not to hit, something as simple as you could show them how to beat eggs in a bowl, and they could try it like 6-8 times, and they're still making mess, eggshells all inside there and everything, and it's an abomination, right? It's like, sorry, you just stay out of the kitchen. You just go do what you're good at. All right, you're not good here. Okay, so you don't have to be. Okay.
You don't have to
Ignorance.
be
Okay.
All right. So
In any regard, so forgiveness. All right. This is when someone will come up to me, said, "I know you just showed me that, Dennis. Can you show me again?" Say, "Yeah, I forgive you for that. Okay, it's your first time. Whatever. Let me show you again." And then they go through it again, and then they don't get it again, and then okay, listen, okay, one chance, two chance, no, okay, that's it. All right, like I can't keep doing this, and so get somebody else to learn you, okay, because I got no time. Find somebody else who has the patience for you. Okay, like go see a therapist or something. Go find somebody that can help you learn like how to retain things. Otherwise, you have a mental deficiency, right? Like your the way your brain works, it's not
Dennis,
wired correctly.
Okay, you're wandering now down into okay. We get it. We get it.
All right.
Joe, I think this is time for us to call it a day. We have heard a lot. I respectfully, to a degree, disagree with both of you. I will get into perhaps tomorrow, maybe tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do a show because I have to get up very early in the morning. But I respectfully disagree on some of the things. I agree with you on points, and other things I disagree, but respectfully so.
Of course, I have no respect for your opinion, though. We already established that you haven't researched what I've researched. So,
well, you might.
I'm kidding.
That's one thing. Okay, this is one thing.
What?
People beliefs when people have a belief on something, an opinion or something, you can't argue that. That's their belief. You can't move their truth. Okay, you can bash it into their head, all right, and they might ponder and think about it for a little bit. They might take it, think about it, and process it, and say, weigh things out, and right. But if somebody doesn't want to listen to you, or they're hard, fast stuck in their belief system, there's no way of changing that, man. No way. Sorry.
You're right, unless, of course, and to me, like if their opinion and stuff, if they are in control of a large business or a governmental thing that makes policy, they have to be challenged, and they, if it's just, if it's just a person who's a voter or a family member and they have an opinion, and of course they don't want to hear your opinion, you know what? There's nothing I can do.
Well, yeah, you could talk about Stalin. You could talk about a dictatorship or whatever. Yeah, it doesn't matter what you say, right? If you don't agree with me, you're going to the gulag. You're gonna be slave for us.
And some people, if some people
or die. Sorry.
Some people, regardless of the facts you bring into them, are things like that. They've already set with their facts, and they're not going to listen. They'll actually double down. Anyway, guys, anything to add before I call this show a day?
All right, I'll sign out and say, it's been a slice.
It has been. Maybe we got to get a
It has
slice
been.
of pizza sometime, Dennis.
Yes, we
Sure,
should.
at a strip joint.
Oh.
I'm glad that you showed up. I'm glad that you showed up, and maybe we will do a transparency and merit straight from the strippers joint.
Yeah, simulcast.
It's kind of a dream. That's a dream come true.
We can all get COVID.
No.
And Brian, if I ever got so drunk or blacked out, belligerent at a strip bar, there's no better person to have in your corner there than Dennis.
Oh yeah. Oh look
He will
out.
know what to do. He will make sure you get home safely. So,
Great.
that's where we're at there. We have had a few listeners today, by the way, so that's a good thing.
We thank Mandy for listening all the way from Austin, Texas.
Yes,
Oh, thanks, Mandy, for listening, Mandy.
yes. Thank you for doxing her. That was really nice. Do you want to give her address out while you're at it?
I think I'll say that for the next show. We got to have more Mandy.
Yes.
I didn't know that was actually doxing someone, saying what state
No.
they were in, what city they
No,
were in.
we have a lot of people from Texas. I'm kidding.
Well, I
course,
know of
Debbie.
about 4,000 Mandys in Austin.
Yeah, there's a lot of Mandys in Austin.
Yeah.
And you got to pick the one. If you don't pick the one, you're not going to get the Mandy.
Yeah,
That's
you
right.
got to do the research.
I guess Mandy is an Austin name. All right, guys. So like and subscribe and leave a comment down below, perhaps, like how you liked the show or how you hated the show.
Yeah.
So, thank you for listening and enjoy the rest of your day or your night or your evening or your weekend.